Alright, before I start this video, let me just quickly say this. If you have neighbors, if you live in an apartment complex, if you have direct neighbors next to you, either side, doesn't matter. Keep your DIYing to a bare minimum because it drives everybody around you absolutely nuts. And now I know that most people don't record videos on a regular basis, don't have to do voiceovers on a regular basis. And even though they don't have to do that, I'm pretty sure they're very annoyed with hearing you hammering, drilling, and anything else at any point of the day, no matter what. You can't really say, oh, it's gonna be between this and then, because he'll be doing it in the morning, he'll be doing it in the afternoon, and they'll be doing it in the evening. The point being that we're all at home right now. Pretty much everybody is at home pretty much most of the day because we have to self-isolate and be like sociable towards everybody with social distancing and blah blah blah. That means everybody's there to hear your nonsense. And they're probably not going to be very happy with you once the social isolation thing is over and we can all go outside and have our, I don't know, neighborhood barbecues or whatever. They're going to be like, oh, you're the guy who kept hammering away the entire time when we were sitting there like with nothing else to do but listen to your bullshit. Okay? Bare minimum. That's my announcement for now, and now enjoy the rest of the video, please. Okay, we're back. I thought I was recording, but I was not, so now we're here. And it is the day before Easter 2020. We're still in our social isolation thing, and that's okay. Except, of course, the intro showed that I was getting a little bit more than usually frustrated with certain people doing DIY in this type of situation. I don't know why you would do that, DIY. Because there's people all around you in certain locations and you want them to not hate your guts. So if you know that everybody's home, then try to keep the nonsense and noise down to a minimum. Or at least unpredictable, I don't know, like time slots or something. But okay, we've had that. We're now on to the next thing. It's Easter tomorrow, so I thought I would, while telling my story, go ahead and paint like some eggs, although I guess painting is not the correct word. This one's got a little butterfly going so far, and a dog hair on it. These are pre-boiled, and I just have these markers here that I also used for the bear last week to try and make them prettier. So I was going to draw a little landscape on this, so I'm going to start making this green. Either way, what was I going to say? Yes. So, the week has been fairly uneventful for the most part. Nothing much happened. The thing that happened that was the most interesting to me, I guess there were two things. I went and had the dog's, how should I say that, feces investigated because she had another bout this week of some diarrhea and also one day also throwing up, which is like a bad combination, I would think. So I wanted them to have a look at that, and so they did. I saved up 3 days worth of feces of the dog. Nice conversation piece, I know. And then I went to the vets and they took a test, or they did a test, which lasted only about 15 minutes. I think not even. I think I sat there for about 10 and they already had the results, so that was pretty quick. The test was to see if there was any like parasites in a particular type of worm that she was suffering from perhaps, but they didn't find anything of that, so she's healthy in that regard. And they called me yesterday as well because I had asked if they would discuss the findings with me. And they said, well, you know, she's such a small dog and this particular type is can easily get overwhelmed with medication and stuff like that, or something along those lines. I'm not going to say that I'm directly quoting the vet because I don't have any veterinary knowledge, so don't take my word for what I'm saying right now. But anyway, the point was she's probably just eating things that she shouldn't be, and that's why her stomach's upset, and she might have some underlying food allergies, which I kind of suspect because she sometimes reacts badly to chicken and salmon snacks, so there might be some sensitivities to that. And to just keep an eye on her, and it'll probably gonna be fine, and if she does end up needing more help, then we'll take a look and see what we can do. We don't want to give her too much medicine if it's not absolutely necessary. I mean, she's just walking around, she feels happy, she's definitely hungry, she likes her snacks, so it's not like she's suffering or anything like that. So it's like, just see if it continues, and if not, we're just gonna keep everything the way it does right now, and then everything's probably gonna be fine. Look, we've got some grass going over here, and I'm pretty sure that she is going to be fine, and she has been eating things she shouldn't be, so I think that's probably related to it. But of course I'm going to keep an eye on her just in case. You never know. But okay, so that's one thing. And yesterday I had to go take my car in for like a checkup, and that was all fine as well. The thing is with that car that it does need to have some maintenance done. It's from 2013, I think it is, and so it needed to have its annual checkup again. It doesn't have to happen every year. Okay, well, you know what I'm trying to say. It has to happen once a year, and then it gets like a check mark saying, okay, this one's good for another year, and next year I'm gonna have to go back to do more things. And one of the things that the mechanic said was that it's probably going to need new tires next year, but this year what it needed was a new muffler because there was like a leak or something. It wasn't like gas tight. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but yeah, that's... Look, see, now I've made the grass a little more three-dimensional by giving it a darker green line here. Make it look more like individual blades of grass here, so I'm just going to continue doing that all the way around the egg. So that was okay. Went to pick up the car, everything's fine. Of course you get like a nice bill for that, but that's okay. I expected it to be expensive, so I was not surprised at that at all. And the rest of the day was pretty calm, actually. Nothing much happened, except for yesterday evening I went for a walk and with the dog, and I saw a whole bunch of neighbors just walking around. And I'm like, what's going on here? First I just heard somebody call like somebody's name. I heard somebody yelling Alex or something. And I'm thinking, wow, that is an ugly screaming voice that that person just used. And I look over and it's like, oh, it's a certain neighbor. I know who that is. And it doesn't surprise me that she sounds like that either. But the thing is, it was a whole bunch of neighbors. And I'm thinking, this is not quite social distancing, guys. Like, everybody was kind of, well, not next to each other in per se, but they're all walking around. And they're pretty much, like, maybe 3 or 4 feet apart in some cases. Other cases, they were actually right next to each other, like they knew each other or something. I don't know. But I'm thinking that they are, like, people who are thinking, we've been inside for so long and nobody here looks like they're sick, so why can't we just all go for a walk? You know, that type of attitude. And that is really a bad attitude to have, because that's going to end up propagating this situation. And we're going to have to be in social isolation even longer, because someday it'll be in the news that this neighborhood in particular has a lot of people showing up at the intensive care unit because there's a bunch of idiots living here apparently. And they decided that they would determine what's best for them rather than listening to the experts and the doctors and everything else telling them to not do that word that I can't say. But okay, so they were doing that, and that was annoying me, but I of course tried to avoid them, and they didn't actually try to talk to me or anything like that, but if they had, I would have kept my distance. They were fortunately far away enough for me to not have to interact with them at all. And it also kind of bothers me sometimes, like certain people, they go jogging, right? Like, nothing wrong with jogging, but don't walk too close to other people as well. I mean, in addition to social distancing, if you're going jogging, you're breathing heavily, you're leaving lots of aerosolized, whatever it is that comes out of your breath, all around you, like a trail behind you. So you might want to avoid running in certain areas where there are like old people that might be walking around in the streets. Because old people, a lot of old people that I've seen on the streets, they don't seem to care if they catch it or not. It's like they're tired of living, or I don't know what it is. There are a lot of old people who will keep their distance by themselves, but there are some who just don't seem to care. Like, I was riding a bike yesterday as well, because when you turn in a car, you can either get another car for the time being, or you can borrow a bike from the garage. So I got a bike, and I was cycling along, and I hear people behind me. Now, this is a bike that I'm on that I'm not used to, first of all, but the gears were all rotten and everything, so it's like a garage for cars, so they don't really care about how their bikes look. So it was a bit of a beaten up bike, and it couldn't go very fast, but there were these 2 people coming up behind me, and this is a cycle lane where 3 people can pass each other with a reasonable amount of space, but not the social distancing reasonable amount of space. And they just like passed me 2 at the same time, like not one after the other, so they could go all the way to the other side of the path. Nope, both of them at the same time. And I'm thinking, I need to get out of here. So these old people are like 60 plus pass me, and I step on the brakes because I'm like, we need to distance ourselves. Like, they probably thought I was crazy or something, but I'm just like aware of these things, and other people don't seem to care. I'm not really sure what that is, or they just don't think that it's going to be an issue if they're on the bike or something, that the wind will blow everything away, or I don't know. Either way, it's not a very smart decision, so I don't know what they were thinking. Oh, dogs walked in right now. I have another butterfly right here, like so. Hello, I'll grab you in a minute. Look, can you see that? Yep, so now you have 2 butterflies, 1 on either side. I've got 4 eggs here, but I'm probably not going to do all of them. I'm going to grab the dog for a second. Come here. Come to everybody. Your new look. Whee! Look what we got here. Can you see her? Yes, we can. Oops. Ta-da. She had a haircut. Look at her looking all confused. So this is the person who needed to go to the vet the other day. That's right, it's you. And yesterday she was on the balcony and I have these little bee hotels. And she kept trying to get the bees because they're trying to go into the little hole and like fill it up with whatever it is that they do. And she was trying to eat them. So I was like, okay, we can't say that's out now then because otherwise she's going to end up getting stung by a bee and then we have to go back to her vet for another reason. Okay? Yeah. Okay, you can sit here, but I do want to paint another egg. I'm just going to put her over here. Don't think she's going to show up because she's kind of small, obviously. There she is. She's a little bit in view here. Top of her head. Okay, so that's egg number 1 over here. We got that. I think we can draw some... Oh, this one's a little bit wet still. We can draw some chicks on this one. Chicks, of course, are yellow, so we don't know if that's going to show up. Now let's start with the grass. The grass, the green. We're going to start with the light green at the bottom. Just going to start. We're drawing a little line like this. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh, it's very difficult to see with this lighting. Come here. There you go. You can kind of see that I've drawn some stripes there. I'm going to do that all the way around, and then color down the middle, and then go back with that darker green to try and get it to look a little bit more like grass. So this kind of reminds me of how we used to celebrate Easter at home, except that we used to also have a large cloth chicken. Like we would have a bowl with eggs, and on top of that set a large cloth chicken, and if you lifted up the wing you could like go reach in and grab an egg because there was like a hole there. I was thinking if I could make one of those, but I don't have enough cardboard anymore right now. I'm pretty sure I have a box somewhere, but in the storage space where I normally keep my cardboard stuff, couldn't find a box that was going to be big enough. But I think you could like cut out 2 sides of the chicken, so to speak. Oh, that's scratch. Annoying itch. And then like put cloth on top of that and like make a head on top of that as well, and some wings with some cloth that you can lift, and then maybe you could have that sitting on top of your eggs to keep them warm, both first of all as an egg cozy, and also make sure that the eggs are presented nicely, which is what it is all about, of course. As for egg hunting, of course I'm not going to be egg hunting by myself because I know exactly where I put all the eggs. I'm probably just going to eat them straight up, but you could put them all around the house instead of the garden if you don't have a garden. Pretty sure people do that already anyway, but now that people are trying to stay inside as much as possible, you could do that. And maybe do something else fun with that, I don't know. Maybe like hide the eggs and put a little note with them, like something that they can do, like a little assignment or something. Like name 5 things that you're grateful for, or what are you going to do first once you're allowed back outside as per usual, something along those lines. I don't know. Yeah, I closed it. I don't know, just little assignments that they can do, something to focus on, something fun, I don't know, sing a little song or something, little things that they can do and enjoy. And then they have to actually kind of work for the eggs, if you know what I mean. Like it's not just a free handout. As though that would be a bad thing for kids. No free handouts here with our Easter eggs. Anyway, so yes, I'm gonna draw my grass here real quick. Real quick grass. And if we do want to start a crafting series, then I'm gonna have to order some things to make, and then of course I want suggestions, what people want to see, obviously. Alright, so the grass is here. Can you see that? Yeah, I think you can. I think you can. Look at her looking at the egg. What's that? Ooh. See that? Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. doesn't care. She likes the contents, but that's another thing that you're not have, because she is, of course, I think slightly allergic to things, certain types of food. And in addition to eating whatever she finds in the street, of course, I have to control what she eats here. I can't control what she eats here. Now for little chiclets, I'm going to have to draw a small little shape here, which you're probably not going to see on camera unless I outline it. So I'm going to do that first. Because now it's just a yellow blob, which I'm pretty sure you can't even really see on the camera. Yeah, you can kind of see it. I'm going to outline that a bit. And then I'm going to draw a little eye in it. Just to be the eye of the chick. I didn't even give it a specific shape. I'm just kind of winging it a bit. Just like with the bears. The weirder it looks, probably the better it is. Okay, so now we have an outline. Now you should be able to see it. At least the outline, you can see that. I'm going to give it a little beak with some orange. And some feet as well. Hope the orange shows up. Kinda. It's the thought that counts, and it's not really for the camera anyway, but I could outline it just so you guys can see that I have actually put a beak there. And maybe give it some legs. She's just decided to lie down. Well, that's lazy. There we go. Yep, there you go. So we're going to draw another one of those on the other side. And then we've got our chick egg. And then I think I'm about to run out of stories actually, because nothing much happened during the rest of the week. Really, as far as I'm aware. Oh yeah, there is like one thing that I did, because of course we can't go celebrate Christmas. Wow. Maybe you won't be able to celebrate Christmas. I'm doing the same thing that my mother has always done, like confusing Christmas with Easter for some reason. Either way, so we can't celebrate Easter right now with our friends and family, although I never celebrated with friends anyway, but we can't go visit our parents for Easter, and probably a lot of people can't do that either, and we're not really FaceTimey type of people. I haven't FaceTimed with my parents once, and I don't think they would necessarily appreciate that. They'd probably find it a little strange, because we're not really the type of family that spends a lot of time together. So it's kind of been that way. So it's not like we're all that less in contact than we normally would be. Oops. But what I did do is I ordered like a gift card type thing. A regular card, Easter card, and I had some chocolate included with that, so they could at least have some chocolate if they hadn't bought any already. I think I need to give them like a little wing or something. There. Now they have a little wing. There, see? Both of them do. There it is. Ta-da! It's still the same egg. She's just sitting there looking at it. Okay. So I sent them some chocolate, and my mom has seen it. She sent me a picture that she actually received it, and my dad also said thanks, although he's not the type to take pictures. And who knows, I don't think I want to buy a lot of chocolate for myself this year, because I'm still trying to lose weight, obviously, which is another thing that I might want to bring up real quick. Exercise during the isolation period. What do we do? You could go out and like ride a bike or something, but make sure to always distance yourself from people. Okay, we got them side by side. Okay, see that? Yeah, if I bring them close, then you can see it. There we go. Ta-da! So that's them. Want to see them? No? She won't know what it is until I crack it open. There, so yeah, that's the thing. I have an exercise bike for behind the desk, which doesn't have its own steering wheel, so it's basically just the seat and the pedals, which is useful, can be useful when I'm working, but during the rest of the day or the week, or the weekend I should say, I don't really want to sit on that, because I need somewhere to lean on, and I can't do that if it's just the seat. And of course the thing with the seats of these exercise bikes is I never find them comfortable, so I can't sit on them for long. I have a desk that can be risen so I can stand behind it, so I do that quite regularly, so I don't have to sit all day. But that's not much exercise either, and for some reason I want to go look for videos where I can do some exercise, but I don't have much space. And a lot of exercise videos on YouTube that I've seen, they have people jumping around and going up and down on the floor and whatnot, having yoga mats. I don't have a yoga mat. don't want one either, because if I'm on the floor, I can't see what you're doing on the video. So it's like, is there an exercise thing that I can do that doesn't require half the amount of space extra that I don't have, and won't have me jumping around like a crazy person? That'll probably upset the dog, because she doesn't really, she's not very used to me jumping around. So I usually do all my activity outside, all the walking and things like that. So I have to figure out what I'm gonna do for that. So yeah, exercise is a thing, and eating not so much chocolate is a thing. We're gonna eat mostly eggs tomorrow because it's good protein and that'll keep you full for a long time. Other than that, we're just gonna keep keeping on, I guess. Oh, one last thing. I cut my hair today a little bit. You don't see it much because I just washed it, so it's already curling up a bit. But normally it was like down here when it was dry, and kind of straight down here, because my hair doesn't seem to know, like over here you got like the wave going down, and then when it reaches here it just gives up and it doesn't know what to do, and it just hangs there kind of weird and straight and just awkward. So I wanted to cut that off, and of course we don't have like hairdressers available at the moment, so I just did like the YouTube tutorial thing where you comb everything forward. Of course it only really works if you have my type of hair, which curls up a little bit on its own, so if it's not quite straight cuts, it won't really matter because nobody's going to see it. And if you have straight hair, there are other tutorials out there from, for instance, Brad Mondo, I think, made one. Not really sure, you're going to have to look that up. For people with straight hair, do it more straight. And in my case, all I do is I comb it all forward, and then I tie it together, and then I cut off the part that I don't want anymore. Like everything just kind of sits in front of my face, and I just cut the bottom part like an inch or something. And then it's a little bit shorter and a bit more manageable, I guess you would say. So that's the video for today. Hope you enjoyed that. Next week, who knows what we're going to do. I don't know if we'll have anything to craft next week. Maybe we'll have something to talk about. Who knows? Either way, keep on keeping on as well. Keep calm and keep eating your eggs. We're going to say goodbye to you too. There we go. Hello. We're going to say goodbye. You're going to say goodbye to the camera? She doesn't know what a camera is. Huh? Yeah. She's always this quiet. Nothing unusual here. Yes, so take care of yourself and yours, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.